Today on the channel, we're going to check out Guitar for the Practicing Musician from September of 1984. Alright everybody, welcome back. We've got an oldie but a goodie here. This thing is from September 1984. Guitar for the Practicing Musician. So check this out. Got Schenker here from the Scorpions playing that V. $12.50 worth of guitar sheet music. The Pretenders. Got Rock You Like a Hurricane's in here. Back on the Chain Gang. Whiter Shade of Pale, I Can See for Miles, and Blackbird. How interesting. It's got a Pete Townsend in here, the Jacksons, Loverboy, Y&T, Pat Travers, and it's got a Eddie Van Halen 16 by 21 pull-out poster. That poster's never been pulled out of this magazine. This thing is like brand new. Interesting enough, I found this yesterday driving around. I went by a local store that sells comics and video games and stuff, and they had 10 items free, any 10 items on a sidewalk sale, and I found some vintage magazines, so here we go. Alright, let's check this out over here. Unidentified fretted objects. This is going to be weird. There's going to be a lot of weird stuff in here, I have a feeling. I haven't looked at this. I saved it for this video. I'm kind of excited. Look at that guitar. I don't even know what this is. Huh. All right. New York Guitar and Music Expo. Wow, look at this old picture of Andy Summers. He looks kind of like The Edge or something. Bruce. Just some random pictures. Just in case you needed to see some random photos of your heroes. Sammy Hagar playing with Neil Schon. That was that project that never really did much. They put out an album. I've got that LP actually. It's not bad. Not bad. They kicked it right off, man. They didn't even waste any time. I mean, there's no. Was there? Yeah, there was a table of contents. I totally missed it. There's no table of contents, but they kicked it right off with the Whiter Shade of Pale. Boy, this tablature is like. This is interesting. They give you the sheet music with the lyrics and the chords above it. Then over here they show you the guitar licks and the solos. They had it broken down differently. I like how it's spaced out and nice this tablature look. It's very simple. Very simple looking. Very cool. I need to run through some of these and see how accurate they were. Letters from the editor. Let's see what this guy says. Dear Guitar, after reading the listening room section of the May issue, I feel like I must come to the defense of the great musical arts acts ridiculed by Kevin DuBrow of Quiet Riot. Progressive bands such as Rush, Triumph, Zebra, Buck Dharma, Bruce Springsteen, and Bob Dylan were all targets of DuBrow's abuse. This is ridiculous. These groups contain some of the greatest rock musicians who crushed Quiet Riot on every level of music. He must have been really bagging on those guys. I'm going to go back a little bit. We got a Steinberger ad. One of the original Steinbergers. This is the Steinberger guitar, enough said. The Black Sabbath article in music was great. Thank you for only wasting 3 pages on Duran Duran. Let's leave those guys to the Hit Parader and Cream. Rock Guitar in the 80s Secrets by Elliot Randall. Over the years, I've noticed the players have gone out of the standard blues modal form and in fact are getting recognition as effects guitarists. They focus on vibrato handle technique and different clusters of notes than you could hear from Johnny Winter, B.B. King, or Eric Clapton. Andrew Ballou is a great example of this. Here's a guy who really in the sound. He also is an incredible technician and bypassed the technical part of the search of the lost chord, so to speak. Talking about 80s techniques. Let's check out, there's Ed sporting the 84 Kramer. This is from 1984, and there's the elusive 84 Kramer. Ed in his No Bozo shirt, looking cool. Here's a Pete Townsend interview. Well, story, yeah, interview by Bruce Pollitt. The beginning, the operas, they talk about Quadrophenia here. I think Tommy really came out too soon. There's so much I would change now, but we had to stop working on it. We were sick of it. The last part was very rushed. Both Tommy and Quadrophenia haven't got properly conceived endings. Huh. The beginnings. Almost from the first time I put pen to paper, I was a successful writer. Can't Explain got into the British charts. It was kind of a lift off the feeling the Kinks had in You Really Got Me. I really like Ray Davies stuff. I can hear that. That was kind of a short interview. They talk about Sgt. Pepper. When McCartney was writing that, they didn't have any particular method, or they had a peculiar method writing that. Huh, they didn't really talk about who's next or anything there. Okay. I Can See for Miles. How much was 12 issues of guitar? 12 issues of guitar in 1984 was $22.90. How about that? $22 in 1984 was like $70 nowadays. That's expensive. $22.90 for 12 issues of this. I guess when you didn't have access to the internet and everything like that, it was, it was worth it. The Pretenders, Making It Real. She looks good. Wearing a Dallas Cowboy shirt. Telecaster. Very punk looking, classic. Back on the Chain Game. I think I need to look through that and listen for that solo, that little part. They got clean looking sheet music, I can give them that. Earl Slick has lots of guitars, but he only uses one pickup, the DiMarzio X2N. They got a huge interview here, the Pretenders. Pete Townsend got like 2 pages. All right, here's the Scorps. I love the Scorpions, man. Matthias, one of my favorite guitar players of all time. I love Rudolf Schenker. I've seen the Scorpions maybe 4 times. Last time I saw them was in the late 90s. Not gonna lie, I haven't had a chance to see them, but if they come back around, I'm definitely gonna go see the Scorpions. They still sound good from the videos that I've seen. Man, this was when Love It for Sting had just come out, and these guys were on top of the universe, man. Look at Schenker here with his V. Rare photo without a Explorer. Did you set about putting an actual band together? Rudolf says, no, because I was 15 at the time and we was still only 9. Eventually, I got him to join Germany's younger band Cry so that he could play with his kids his own age. I formed Scorpions with vocalists and local musicians. During the day I had to go to work, but in the evening we'd rehearse on the weekends and we'd play at dances at the Sarsted. When did Michael become a member of the Scorpions? That was 1969. Good grief. Hard to believe these guys have been doing it so long, but boy, they sure have. I have so much respect. Pat Travers. The universal pedal board. I like looking at some of these old ads. They got a Carvin Pro Line ad over here. Still talking about perfect pitch. They don't have that goofy looking guy, but they got this little side column about perfect pitch. Who's this guy? That's T-Bone Walk. T-Bone, man. He played with the SNL band. He toured with Hall & Oates. I'm used to seeing him with longer hair. I saw him and G.E. Smith with Hall & Oates. Talk about a killer band. Bass and guitar lineup. Here's performance notes. Each guy that did the tablatures gave you the performance notes. I like this. Wolf Marshall always did the real heavy stuff. He did Rock You Like a Hurricane and the HSAS song. Tito and Randy Jackson on the radio. Loverboy in the listening room. They're playing various songs. Sunshine of Your Love. He says, Sunshine of Your Love and Clapton, of course. That was the classic sound which I tried to get for a long time. I finally gave up and said to hell with it. I'll try to get my own sound. I was probably inspired by that song. I probably played it over 100 times live. There's a good tablature of Blackbird. I know how to play that. But that's a great song to learn. Good for finger picking and getting that style down. Look at these Dean Markley stacks. They're T60 and T120 Rock mountable signature series amplifiers, 50 and 100 watts respectively. Features dual range sensitivity and 100 hertz roll-off band at the low end. But what's in it? Doesn't say. Suggested retail price for the T60 is $695 for the whole stack. Look at this Aria Pro. Kind of ZZ Top Eliminator style. That's pretty cool looking guitar, man. Gotta say. Continuation of the Scorpions interview. You actually seemed among a rare breed of guitarists in that you're content in just handling rhythm and go for the occasional solo, but haven't you ever felt the desire to break loose as a lead player? And Rudolf says, no, not really, because when I started playing guitar, I always thought in terms of the feel of the band. In the early days of the Scorpions, I was basically managing the band and was always having to fix up gigs and try to get us a record deal. I didn't have time like my brother did to sit down and practice. Huh. There's Rock You Like a Hurricane. I wonder how, I gotta look at this guitar solo. The main lead in this song has always tripped me up. I do my best to navigate around it, but I'd like to check it out. There's that intro lick. I know that one. Man, there's some great guitar on this record. They didn't put the entire solo in there. That's a bummer. They did like some of the licks in the intro. That's the introduction. I don't think that's the whole solo. I'd have to look at it. It doesn't look like it's long enough. I could be wrong. Heck, I've been sick for a week. I'm not thinking in the right state of mind. Open Ears with Steve Morse. That's back when Steve had some super long straight hair. That doesn't really look like great of an article. Sorry, I'm skipping through some of this stuff. Just nothing really catching my eyes. The vinyl score. Grace Under Pressure by Rush. Bottom line, a well-built and graceful step forward. Alchemy by Dire Straits. The performance was stretched out. Bottom line, a bit too relaxed and spacey. Orion the Hunter. Bottom line, pleasant big rock from a guitarist no longer MIA. This was Barry Goudreau's band. I think Brad Delp sang on that. That's a good album. Reckoning by REM. Bottom line, a pulsating follow-up to a striking debut. Check out Entwistle with the Who. Street Talk, Steve Perry. That was O'Sherry. That was his last solo album up until about 4 years ago. He put out his most recent one. A smartly articulated view of Journey's voice. I've never heard that album. I need to go and check that out. I've only heard the hit. I like Steve Perry. All right, here's the Van Halen uncracked, unopened Van Halen poster. So let's get this thing out. We're gonna tear this thing out. Has not been seen. Nobody has looked at this poster. It's from 1984. Let's flip through the rest of this real quick. Now we'll come back. We'll come back. All right, so here it is. Pull. Cool, look at this. 16 by 21. I might frame this. This thing is suitable for framing. I mean, this is brand spanking new. It's got a calendar from September. For September, the month of September on it. That's so awesome. Wish it was a little bit higher res, but that's a great picture. I'd say that was worth getting this magazine for free. What do you think, everybody? Pretty pumped about that. Very cool. They're talking about the Les Paul Studio models here. I was wondering if it listed a price of it. It's got PAF pickups, no binding. It's lighter than 99% of Les Paul's jacks. Doesn't have a top. $6.99. Gibson Les Paul Studio, and 1984, $6.99. I got one in 92 for $900, so they haven't come up. I mean, they're $1,500 now, but sign of the times, I guess. But great guitars. They really are, if you can get a good deal on one. Y&T. Look at that. This is a Charvel. Check out that. That looks like a, I don't know what kind of bridge that is, but it looks kind of like a Wilkinson bridge, like of today's, today's bridges you can get. But that's a Charvel V. I've never seen a Charvel V. That doesn't say much, but I haven't. This guy plugged into a gas pump. That's Neil Schon, I think. Or is that John Sticks? Got me. The Dodd FX90 delay. Here are these, they're going to do these awards. Check it out, the nominees. The Randy Rhoads Metal God in Waiting Award. Let's see. I think Yngwie probably would win that based on readers. I would vote for John Sykes. The Beck and Rod Comeback of the Year Award. Shoot, I don't know. That's too long ago. I'd say Deep Purple. The Beat It Trophy for the best solo on the hit record. Van Halen, Jump. Okay, I would vote that. The Fanny Memorial Trophy for best female guitarist. Lita Ford. Tarnished Metal Medallion for the Top 40 Act of the Year. 84 Top 40 Metal Act of the Year. I don't consider Van Halen metal. I'd say Def Leppard. The Gary Moore Award for the most overrated and underrated guitarist. Most overrated, Robert Fripp. Most underrated, Michael Schenker. Rookie of the Year in 84? I couldn't tell you. I just couldn't tell you. Steve Vai. For the Laylo Award, the Guitar Song of the Year. I Want a New Drug. Foolin', Def Leppard, Come On Feel the Noise, Give Me All Your Lovin', Rock You Like a Hurricane. I'd say Give Me All Your Lovin'. Even though I love Rock You Like a Hurricane, I gotta go with Billy Gibbons on that one. For the Frank Zappa Patti Smith Award, I don't know what that's all about, but the Purple Heart Award, we'll give it to Ozzy. The Phil Collins Tuxedo for versatility, Eddie Van Halen, Lost It. Blackmore's Rainbow. Who Cares? Kiss Unmasked, Asia Boston 3, Duran Duran, Footloose. Gonna say Footloose. Gabby Hayes Sidekick of the Year Award. Steve Stevens. MVP, Eddie. There you go. That's what my votes would have been. So maybe I'll dig up the magazine, the issue after this where we reveal the votes, huh? That'd be kind of cool if I had that. I did get a couple other old magazines at the store yesterday, so hopefully we'll check those out in the near future. Hope you enjoyed the content, and if you do, please consider subscribing, comment below, and until next time, peace out.